shit hits the fan today, how prepared are you on your food storage? Well, in this episode, we're going to go over a few items that might help you with your food prep. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Atomic Bear Show, episode 6. As you can see in front of me, I've got some long-term items that I pulled from the kitchen, and I actually had more than I thought I would. But anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about in this episode. We got Big Jeff with us, and of course, we got Big Ben right here. What's up, Ben?
What's going on?
What's up, dude? How are you on your food prep storage?
Not well. If shit did hit the fan, I'd probably go to my pantry and grab some noodles and some cans of beans, and I'd hit the road.
Oh, you gonna hit the road?
I'm gonna hit the road.
Well, and I tell you what, when it comes to prepping, if you have a lot of stuff like long-term storage and you have to leave, you go, oh gosh, how am I going to take all this with me? But then again, you can't take this in a bug-out bag. So, of course, we're going to bring in the main man, Jeff, to help us out with some of this food prepping stuff. But what's up, Todd? What's up, JJ, Eugene, Richard, Shane, and Butch? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. And be sure to stick around because we're going to be doing a giveaway, of course, like we do every single week. But let's go ahead. Let's bring Big Jeff in. What's going on, man?
Hey, Matt. I'm so glad we are talking about this today. And to be honest, I've been thinking about food prepping the whole week, and I've been thinking about that to be really honest, like a month or 2 months ago, really more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about it today forced me to actually get information, get books. Try to understand more what I'm not doing right or what I should be doing. And I would like anybody who has ideas to chip in the comments, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching, chip in. We need your advices. We're gonna share what we learn, but we definitely need you to tell us what you know and share information with us and with everybody else who's watching and is going to read the comments afterwards. So I'm so glad to be here. Welcome, everybody. And, man, let's get into what we want to talk about, Matt. So I see you just cleared the whole table.
I tried to.
What's left on your table?
I tried to clear everything off. And, I said the same thing whenever we were talking about this last week. Me and Jeff were going, all right, so what do you want to talk about next week? And we were like, well, food storage. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I got to thinking, do I know that much about food storage? Because I always think that I do. Well, I actually learned about some long-term items that you're going to want to have. And that, of course, this lasts almost forever right here. And these are just prepping cans. However, if I had to leave and bug out, I can't carry, this in my bug out bag. So it all depends on what your survival window is. Are you going to hunker down in your house, and be there for weeks at a time, 3 days at a time, or do you have a bug out bag and are you leaving to go to another place? And I don't know what you kind of are going off of, but I went with the kitchen route. I went in there and grabbed a bunch of stuff from the kitchen. But is that what you were thinking, or were you thinking more bug out related?
Well, I think bug out is it has to be an emergency thing. So when you bug out, you're going to your bug out location. So you still need to be ready. If you think you need to bug out because there is some sort of earthquake, fire, whatever is happening, or just you're afraid of what's happening outside, riots. You're afraid that people will break in your house, whatever is happening. You have to assess the situation. But if you're bugging out, you will not be carrying with you like 3 weeks of supplies, right? It's almost impossible unless you're in a car, depending on how you go out. In my mind, I'm just thinking the most likely situation for me and my family is things like massive power outage. In 1998, like in the region where I'm living, in the city where I am, we almost went off the grid for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So we were lucky. Yeah, it was. Some people were off the grid in the winter for 3 weeks. In Montreal, we were off the grid. I was off the grid for 6 hours. I was super lucky. Some people have been for multiple days. So when these things happen, and it's not rare, like you hear these stories all over the world, in the United States and Canada, This is something that is quite likely to happen. So I want to be ready if the grid goes off for 3 weeks, right? That's my thinking, like water supply, food supply. The fridge is not working. The freezer is not working. How do I cook? How can I eat healthy stuff? Do I have kids? What do my kids eat?
Right.
You know, like some people think that they will feed the whole family with MREs for a full year. Well, let me tell you, some MRE is a meal ready to eat. So basically, it's a meal just open up, you eat it a bit with something included, but it's already ready. You don't have to cook it. But let me tell you something. I don't know if you've tasted this food. I'm not sure kids will love MREs for months and months. So thinking about all these things is definitely key. So bugging out, but staying in, just for like grid goes off, goes off. There's an earthquake and you're stuck, you're stranded in your house. These are situations that we have to think about. And but it's not to say that bugging out is not important, right? And bugging out is definitely important because you've got to be ready for that too.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, and just thinking about items that are, that if I was in the house, like you were saying, and I need it to hunker down, and I got to thinking, do I have enough food? Well, if I go in there and I look at the food I have, I'm like, okay, well, I got this. But like you said, the fridge isn't working. So what are we going to do? But the first thing that I think is on the list is not technically food. And what is that in the shot? Oh, that's that sugar. Is water. The 3-day rule, the 72 hours. So water, because you can go a little bit longer without food. But having water like this, as long as this top is not, undone, it can hold for a long time. And even if you have to run it through a filter or anything like that, if you had a fire, you could boil it. But having water supply, I think, would be on my number one thing. And I have this one, and I have a half, and I shouldn't have done it, but I was drinking on it the other day, actually. So my thing is I'm going to need to stack up on more water for sure. But that's my first one right there.
Yeah, and on the water, I took notes. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I've purchased 5 books, right? And I've skimmed through some of them, and I found this little gem.
Hey, come up to the. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, now it's focused.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this on the episode notes, on the show notes, you will have a link to this book on Amazon. But basically, this book is a gem. I learned so much in this book, and I will share some information about what I found in there. But basically, one of the things that they talk about is the source of water that you have around. Obviously, you can stack up bottles, and water will never get bad. Like water doesn't get bad. I think of this there's no expiration date of water. The thing is, you could get mold in your water. So usually, if you take water from the tap from a city or something, the water will be clean. There will be no germ in it. So you can pack it in a clean container and leave it there. You might want to have, let's say you stock up, for 2 weeks of water supply. And the rule for water supply, by the way, I don't know if you know that, but they say that you need about 4 gallons per person per day.
Oh, wow.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because you need to obviously drink. Let's say half of it would be drinking. You may want to wash yourself a little bit.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. You may want to wash your vegetables or anything you need to clean. And it just you can think of in 4 liters or in metric, but imperial would be 1 gallon. So 1 gallon per day per person. So if you're a family of 4, it's 4 gallons per day. And if you're thinking of 2 weeks, 2 weeks of water supply, it's 60 gallons of water supply that you need. If you have 2 kids, 2 adults, maybe you need less water for kids, but it's better to have a bit more than not enough. So I think water is at least something you want to stack up, because without water, you know what, you don't survive long.
Right.
Another thing that we don't think about is we have water in the house, even though everything stops, right? We have water in our pipes, water in our toilet. You need the back of the toilet has multiple, maybe 2 gallons of water in there, I think. If you have a pool, there's water in there. Or if you're one of those who are lucky enough to jacuzzi, unfortunately, I have neither a pool nor a jacuzzi, but there's water outside, inside the house, and these are primary source of water if you haven't thought about stocking it. But if you're doing what you actually doing, buying bottled water, over time you stock up 60 gallon. Then you know for your family of four that you have 3 weeks, 2 weeks of supply, which is not bad.
Yeah, dude, and that is a good point because you're gonna want to wash, yourself eventually, and having that there, and you kind of don't want to. Let's just say the power goes out, right? And the water, so that you're gonna get one flush again of your toilet because of the water that's in the back of the toilet. So use that wisely, I guess, and then cleaning, like you were saying, but vinegar.
Yeah.
You can use this, and you can use it for cleaning. I know a lot of people do use it for cleaning, and it also can flavor food. Because once you start getting into the, past 3 days or so, you're going to really start having to get creative. And,
Yeah.
how long are things going to store? What I never understood is why people get milk and bread. Yeah, I could maybe see bread during the hurricanes. They always go get their milk. Well, if the power goes out, how are they keep? But you always see the milk is always gone, and I never understood that. But
So for the milk, there's a trick. You can get powdered milk.
mhm.
Assuming you have water and you can eat your water, you can make or you can make milk. So this is a cool piece of information I got from the book. It's called the Mormon Rule of Four. So the Mormon, back then, it's traditionally they have their, like, as the author says in the book, there are 4 elements that they need to for you that you can use for your body to survive.
Mhm.
And these items are long storage. We're talking about years of storage time. Number 1 is wheat, like flour, raw flour. The most basic and the rawer is your flour. Exactly, the longer it lasts. So if you can get wheat that is brown wheat or something,
Mhm.
something that is can be beans is another one. What can you do with beans? You can sprout them. Sprouted beans are full of vitamins and minerals. You can cook them, and they will last forever in that jar. You can keep them on the shelf, and as long as you have beans, you will have your protein. Honey is the third one is honey, and powdered milk. Powdered milk as honey exactly, and powdered milk as the proteins that you need to supply your body. Essential proteins. So you had milk, you had honey and beans, man. You're not bad at
Hey, you
all.
see how many beans I got though? But I did learn that rice, like white rice, is another
Yeah.
good thing. Noodles, where's that thing of noodles? And you definitely want to keep moisture out of your rice and get the salt that doesn't have the iodine in it. And storing it in a glass like this, if you can, let's just say that you're keeping it and it's cold or whatever, and you take some out. What you're going to want to do is leave these beans out on room temperature before you try to freeze them again for at least 4 hours. Because what it'll do is it'll cause condensation together in this jar, and then it'll ruin, your beans or whatever you're doing. But pasta, you probably don't need, I was looking for like egg noodle pie. I thought I had some in there. But this big thing of pasta right here will get the job done. And like you said, honey, last forever. They found some honey in the pyramids that was, I don't know. I'm not a history person, but it was still edible when they found it. So
What?
honey will last forever. And you're definitely going to want to have some type of flavor for something. So honey might be the way to go. Be careful with syrup though. Make sure that it's the real syrup, not the Aunt Jemima syrup, because that doesn't last as long as the real maple. And canned foods. For $5, you can get, the little, where is it? The Great Value. This is a Green Giant, but the little Great Value cans, I don't know what it is up there, but the store brands for like 97 cents. You got 5 cans right there, and they're going to last a while. Now, they don't have as long a shelf life as, your honey, of course, but, for 3 weeks, you're going to be fine with just canned goods. Open them up, even if you can't warm it, boom, pull it back. So things like that also.
Yeah.
Boom. Now, the gardening side of it. Have you thought anything about that? Like planting your own food?
Yeah, of course, as you know, we're having we're selling this product here, all sourced in United States. The name we found is Arma Garden.
Oh yeah.
Play on word here. So gardening is definitely a skill to learn. So the challenge that a lot of people will have is they're buying those huge seeds banks, store them, and never touch them, right? So
Right.
the goal here is to learn gardening. So I live in the city and I do have a little garden, and gardening has multiple aspects to it. You want to sprout your seeds, you want to grow your vegetables, collect them, and also collect the seeds from your vegetables and your fruits. So next year, you can use the seeds from your plants to plant them again and reseed and continue the cycle. So if you do it well, you start with a small amount of seeds and you can grow your seeds and have a garden that can last for a long time. And what is pretty cool with this pack is that, especially if you're new to gardening and you're not ready to buy like for 5 years of seeds, which is not necessarily recommended because, to be frank, seeds, some brands say they last for 10 years, 20 years, but it's all, in my opinion, bollocks. Because seeds after 3 years, the germination rate will be a lot less. So if you buy too many seeds, and even if it's the best storage method you can think of, in 10 years from now, unless they are like in very special conditions, like some international seed banks have like these amazingly cold conditions, and they're replenished and all that. If you don't have that, then your seeds will not be good in 5 to 10 years. So if you bought a whole lot, then you might lose it if nothing happens since then. So a package like this is a good way to start. You have 20,000 seeds in there, which doesn't mean that you have like I'll just show you some. This is carrots, for example. So you have enough carrots to start your garden. You sprout them, and you can eventually collect them. See bigger seeds like squash, for example. Squash is an amazing vegetable because it's full of nutrient. It can last quite long after you collect it, and it's quite big, right? It's very rich in vitamins and also in energy. So you have fewer of these seeds because these are bigger seeds, but you have like 2 different colored lettuce, Brussels sprouts, these little pack here. So all this packaged in a Mylar bag that is sealed. So another thing that we have is in the back, we have planting chart. This planting chart will tell you, how long it should take to germinate them, what's the planting distance, and how long it takes before you can start harvesting any vegetables or fruit from it. So this is easy to carry. Although if you think bug out like 3 days or even 3 weeks, or like unless you have a few months, you won't be able to grow a lot of vegetables in there. Some seeds can be used as a source for sprouting, but if you go on the sprouting route, which is a better route if you're gonna be if you think of creating vitamins and fresh, high nutrient sprouting herbs, you want to think 2 weeks, 3 weeks terms. You can start collecting good food from there. And some seeds will also sprout much faster. This is not a sprouting pack, but this is a gardening pack. So I think this is great for people who want to start gardening. They don't want to spend too much money. I think the price now is set about $18, $19. And it's a pack that will last for long. Inside, there's even small labels. We added small PVC labels to label them. So that's my thinking. And I think when you start, gardening, I don't know if you garden at all, Matt. Do you have a garden? Do you used to garden? Your
I've
parents?
tried. I've done big rows of cucumbers is all I've gotten,
Okay.
and I had more cucumbers than I know what to do with. But I do have seeds like that you're talking about, and I got them in little packages, and I don't know if
Yeah.
they're any good anymore because they're in little packages, but they're not sealed up. but I
Yeah.
do have the seeds for gardening. But I don't know. With soil and it comes to gardening, who was it in here that just said JJ Hart, because there's people in here that I have a bag of our homegrown dried herbs. Yeah, so there's some people in the chat that
There you
like it.
go.
But yeah, man, that's actually a pretty neat little thing. I will
Yeah.
tell you this, dude. And it might just be my favorite thing to have, but that right there,
Yeah.
vodka, bam. If you're thinking about really bugging out, or even if you have the little mini ones, you can use it for barter, trade, things like
Yeah.
that. But if you're 3 days in, you're depressed, go ahead, get you some alcohol and a little thing like that, bam, and go ahead and get the strong stuff because you don't know how long you're going to be out there. But I saw that in there, and I was like, well, definitely alcohol is going to last a while. So,
And this can burn too, and also you can use it to disinfect, if you cut yourself or anything you want and it's dirty, you can use it to clean it. It's gonna hurt though, but I mean,
yeah.
whatever works, right?
Yeah, and Monica in the chat, she was saying raw honey you can put on your wounds, and I'd never heard that. So, raw honey. Wow. Stocked up on canned goods. JJ is. Everybody seems to be on board there. Start vacuum sealing foods now. Man, I tell you what, that does last a while, and there's so much information out there, Jeff, that I don't know if that's true, but with the vacuum seals and other things, they say it does not last as long as just simply having it in a glass container. Don't know why, but I'm thinking they're saying maybe the moisture in it, but soy sauce was another one.
There's three enemies, or at least two enemies, like oxygen from air, moisture. These are the biggest enemies. And heat. If something is is like not stored at the right temperature, like it will degrade faster. So often, what people do if they dry fruits or vegetables, and in that book that I mentioned, they tell you how to do it. It's actually pretty simple. It just takes a lot of time just using just your oven for that. But I mean, if you do it, then you want to package it, vacuum seal if possible. But they sell little pouches of oxygen depletion product in there. You put it in there, you seal it, and it will last a lot longer. So oxygen of air and moisture are definitely enemies. So if you can avoid it, that's great.
Yeah, and keep going, Jeff. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
Sorry. I just thought about it before I forget. We also have, like, today's people, everybody can get this this book here. It's the Heirloom Vegetable Gardening Bible. So those seeds are heirloom seeds, meaning that when you collect the seeds, the parents will look like the child will look like the parents, so you can replant them and get good results. In this book, you can find out, like, this is a 401 or 400 pages book. It's not thin, and obviously if you print it, it's a PDF, right? But in there you have art to start your seed. You have planting tips, understanding plant life cycles, selecting the seed parents. I don't know if you guys probably cannot read, but I'll read it for you. Natural pest control guide, transplanting seedings, and then how to grow your seeds. Like, then you have all the vegetables in there. Guide to growing fruits, growing legumes, grains, guide to growing sprouts, the whole 9 yards, culinary herbs.
Oh, and yeah. So it's stacked, basically.
Yeah,
you have everything you need.
Yeah, you have all the information you need. And the guy here, Michael Morris, like, we made the book with him, so he had all this information on his website. And then I asked him. He's the one who's providing the seeds. He's my seed expert. So he's the one who's sourcing the seeds, mainly in Oregon, and he packages seeds for us. So I asked him that, like, if we can make a book together, and we make that wonderful PDF. So anybody who wants to learn about gardening, they think they have like a brown fingers, brown thumbs to grow plants. This is going to be helpful. And everybody can have the PDF. If you're watching the show, just go to theatomicbear.tv and there's a link to episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
Click on there, and you have the link to this PDF, and you also have a link if you're interested in the book. Oh, is there a link below? Yeah, excellent. And then you have the link to the book that you can buy on Amazon. I think it's like $15 if I'm not wrong. It's not expensive at all. Maybe 18, 19, that range of price. So if you're really into food storage, that's an amazing book. And if you want to learn a long-term skill that will save you a lot of money and will also get you more prepared to feed your family and be self-reliant, then the gardening book is a must. It's free. Just go there, download it. It's yours.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. So, like you were saying, anybody in the chats that want to go check that out, that thing was super stacked. And also, Jeff's got a giveaway for us. And, of course, it's got to do with food prepping and gardening. What you got for us, Jeff? What's the giveaway this week?
What are you guessing, Matt?
I'm guessing, I got to guess the seeds, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, the seeds. I mean, this is something you want to keep home. Some people will put it in their bug out bag. Well, it depends what you want to do with it, but I mean, it's super slim, super light. Why not? And there's a lot of information in there, a lot of seeds. If you're not a gardener yourself, you can always give it to someone you know that is a gardener. And let me tell you, we have amazing reviews for this product, and I'm actually proud of our seeds bag, seeds pack. So, do we have a trivia question for our audience, Matt?
Yeah,
you guys have worked on it, right?
Yeah. So basically, guys, if you're in the chats and we see people from both YouTube channels, the Facebook, I think we're over on Periscope, and guys, I have the chat box, and see if you can click it, just to click it, and it's still not pulling up. I promise next week I will have to where all the chats are here on the screen. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to get it figured out. But no matter what platform you're on, Ben can see all of the comments. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a video clip. And the first person that can guess what this movie's from will go home with those seeds that Jeff had. And did you say it was 40,000 or 20,000 seeds in that one little package?
It's 20,000 seeds. And there's a lot of pack with smaller seeds, but I mean, it's 20,000 seeds, so you can have a lot. You need a big land to plant all these seeds. But yeah, 20,000.
So cool. So you'll have your seeds ready to go. And guys, if y'all are ready, I'm ready for the trivia question. Ben, let's show them that clip.
They say that once you grow crops somewhere, you've officially colonized it. So, technically, I colonized Mars. In your face, Neil Armstrong.
All right, guys, if y'all know what that clip or what movie that clip is from, put it in the comments section. And while Ben is picking a winner, Jeff, the ebook, The Atomic Bear, is that the book that we were just going over? For anybody who might not win tonight, the free book at theatomicbear.tv in the show notes?
Yeah. So this is available for free. Mm-hmm. Just go in the show notes. It's going to be yours. Normally we give it to people who buy the seeds, but it's to everyone now. I want you guys to have all the information that you need to get going in your preparation. I also encourage you guys to get this book. We're not selling it. It's not our thing, but I honestly believe that if you want to start prepping and you're really interested to do it well, this book is a must. I strongly encourage you to go get it. I think it's like $18 on Amazon. The link is also in the show notes, so just go theatomicbear.tv, click on it, link to episode 6, and you have the links to the ebooks.
Boom. Heck yeah. And one last thing, if you just wanted to go the simple route, I think this is, what is this, man? Show this. Will it work? What is it? Chicken teriyaki with rice. It's got protein, just a little, and I bought this thing. I don't know how much it was, but, this is super long-term, food storage right there. But just wanted to go over that. If you just want to put everything into one.
I just want to say, Matt, sorry about that. No. I just want to say that this week I was in Texas. I don't know if anybody from Texas is watching.
Mhm.
I was visiting I went visiting the nice town of Fort Worth. But I used a Uber driver that was a local guy. His name was Mr. Boyer, and we just had a nice chat. The guy is bought like a massive food supplies at $1,500. Stuck it. Nice guy. We had a good chat, and he said he would be watching us tonight. But anyway, so I'm just saying there's many ways to stock up your house. And in this book, you'll find ways that are a lot cheaper than paying $1,500. It takes more time and more effort, more energy, but you got to learn to do it, which is also very good. So I want to close a parenthesis here, but I want to make sure I was doing it. I was mentioning Mr. Boyer name here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, who was it that was asking? Was it Dylan or somebody was? Oh, who won the share link contest from last week? I think you still need to pick the winner, and you're going to put that out. Oh, do you have it?
We have a post on our Facebook page. We have 10 winners. So, and just to mention, this is what they're going to win. The 2 Cobra bracelets.
Yep.
Everybody are going to receive it. Not everybody, but 10 people picked on random from the list. And basically just write to us at show@theatomicbear.com. Put your name in there and give us your shipping address and your phone number. We need to give a phone number for the delivery system. So if there's any contention, 2 people message us for the same name, then we'll resolve it. But basically, nothing happened bad last time, so I'm not worried. People are honest. So Cobra bracelets, and just email us and we'll ship you for free Cobra bracelets.
Bam. Well, there you go, guys. And Ben, do we have a winner for the seats?
I think we do.
What do we got?
And this man said it.
That malware.
Which one?
Yeah, just remind me later on that thing.
This man said it at first. He said Martin, and Richard Robinson said Martin at first. I was like, oh no, dude, type it again, make sure it's right. And then he came back. He said Martian, so he got the correct title. Yeah. And right after he corrected himself, Shane Hill came in with Martian too, and everybody else, Martian. But congrats, Richard Robinson, for coming in clutch and getting that win.
So, yeah, congratulations, Richard. And you got the seeds headed your way. And I want to say Richard has won before, so you might already know the rules on how it works. But if not, Jeff, you want to run over him one more time on what he needs to do?
But simply email us at show@theatomicbear.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, just go to the show page. It's theatomicbear.tv. But anyway, in there you have our email address. That is show@theatomicbear.com. And email us your shipping address and your phone number for shipping purposes, and we'll ship you the seeds ASAP.
Cool. Well, there you have it, guys. And, we're already a little bit over, the 30 minutes for the show. And honestly, there's so much stuff that we could continue. We could do 5 episodes, honestly, on the food storage. But just to kind of go over, guys, your honeys are going to last long. Your vinegars for cleaning. And then you're definitely going to want to have water. And like Jeff was saying, 4 gallons per person per day. So it is a lot of water. Is that right?
1 gallon per person per day. 4 gallons if you're 4 people, and if you're 3, it's 3 gallons. Yeah, okay. 1 gallon per person per day.
Yeah, that's still a lot. And then, because when you said it, I saw it as 4, and I'm like, man, that's a lot of water. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching the show. Congratulations, Richard. Thanks for stopping by. JJ and Todd says, who won the bracelets? Todd, go to the Facebook page and you'll see the winners on there. The Atomic Bear. Because is in here, and EJ. But thanks again, guys, for watching the show. Thanks, Big Jeff, for stopping by, Ben. And guys, we will see y'all this time. No, not this time. I guess it'll be 9 p.m. Eastern time. This same time next week. How do you say that? What is that? The same time next week, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the show, and we'll see y'all next week.